watching the Yes Network, the home of champions.
It is a beautiful day for a matinee here in the Bronx, as Kia Motors presents the Wednesday Game of the Week on Yes, as today, the defending world champion New York Yankees take on the Baltimore Orioles in the final game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball, along with Al Leiter. I'm Michael Kay. Well, for the second straight night, the Yankees beat the Orioles. For the second straight night, the Yankees beat the Orioles 4-1. And for the second straight night, the Yankee starters gave the Yankees great pitching.
Well, that's a lot of second straight nights. And I'll tell you what, you're exactly right. And the reason why the Yankees have been so dominant in many ways, you have to start with CC Sabathia. I think he's been stellar all year. There's numbers, career as a Yankee, very, very good. Obviously, 23-9 to start this series off. 8 innings. He's been given a lot of innings, as he's done in his entire career. His strikeouts were down against the Orioles, only 2 strikeouts, but when you got 8 innings, a lot of good things happen. And then last night, same thing, 7 and 3rd innings. AJ was able to get into the 8th inning. Explosive fastball, very good curveball. The combination right now between CC Sabathia and AJ Burnett is as good as any team in baseball.
Check out all of the starters, Al. Sabathia's 4-1, Burnett's 4-0, Andy Pettitte starting today 3-0, Phil Hughes is 3-0. Only Javi Vasquez is struggling at 1-3 with a 9.78. Now let's talk about Pettitte. He's facing David Hernandez today, and Pettitte's had a very good season so far.
Certainly has. It's been the best of through 5 starts of any of his season in baseball since he's been a major leaguer. Here he is in Boston, and what I really marvel at Andy Pettitte is his ability to really recognize hitters now. He'll take a little bit off. His slider's been very good. The command with his fastball on both sides of the plate, managing lineups, very impressive to watch Andy Pettitte.
And the guy who's going to be catching him is Francisco Cervelli. What a night for Cervelli last night. 3 more hits, a triple, a bunt single, and then we come back on segment 2. Al Leiter goes over the rail in his praise of the Yankees' backup catcher. Welcome back to segment 2, everybody. When last we saw Francisco Cervelli last night, he was in this position. All right, you right? You right, Al?
Yeah, we're great.
All right, so now after he
was right here.
After he made that catch, right? What does that mean to a team to have a guy give his body up like that for an out?
Obviously we saw with the emotion of the coaches and everybody high-fiving, but I think Francisco Cervelli, not only what he's meant behind the plate with his understanding of every one of the starters and the pitching staff and really doing a great job there, but the enthusiasm. I mean, the laughter and the fist pumping, all of that transcends, and I think everybody in the dugout feels it, and certainly the team as a whole feels it.
And one sidebar out of this that people don't look at, the better he plays, the less stress there is on Jorge Posada to rush himself back so he can get 100%.
And also, too, for Joe Girardi and realizing, hey, look, if this is a situation where he can relieve, as you say, Posada in a few more games because they not only trust him behind the plate, but he can get big hits, this is great for the team.
Now, you've also said this a couple of times as well. He respects veterans. What does that mean to the veterans on the team, that there's a kid that knows his place?
You know, there's a difference between somebody who's laughing and being silly and maybe just don't really respect the older guys in the hierarchy, but this is a guy that gets it, and he's really part of the fraternity.
Was that a tough play for you to make?
No, that was actually fun.
All right, so that's Al Leiter. I'm Michael Kay, coming back with lineups, first pitch in baseball, right here on Yes. By IOTV. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV. By Heineken. Give yourself a good name. And by Avis, the official rental car company of the New York Yankees. Beautiful Wednesday afternoon in New York City. We are ready to roll here at the stadium. Crowd filing into the ballpark on 161st and River. And as Andy Pettitte starts his warm-ups, let's take a look at today's Orioles starting lineup, which is presented, as always, by Lexus. Julio Lugo, the shortstop, will lead off. Ty Wigginton at second base will bat second. Batting third and playing right field, Nick Markakis. Miguel Tejada at third base will clean up. Batting fifth and playing first base, Garrett Atkins. Matt Wieters will DH. He's usually the catcher. He'll bat sixth. Batting seventh and playing left field, Nolan Reimold. Craig Tatum will catch and bat eighth. And batting ninth and playing center field, Lou Montanez.
And on the mound, a young 37-year-old Andy Pettitte. And what a start for him so far. Coming off his worst start of the season, and every start has been a quality start or better. Against the White Sox, he went 6 innings, 4 runs. But there you see the beautiful 2.12 ERA. The hits to innings is excellent. Batting average against is very good all the way around for Andy Pettitte. Let's take a look at the G Pitcher Scout Report. Birds plucked. In his last 8 starts against the O's, he's 6-0. Over the long haul, he's 14-2. Lifetime in 19 starts against the Orioles. As good as ever. And I mentioned about the ERA and the runs. It's the lowest through his first 5 starts. And potentially the lowest through his first 6 starts. We'll see what happens today. And I've got sunshine, Michael. He's won 3 of his day games this year that he started with a 1.23 ERA. He's averaged 7 1/3 and got in the 8th inning.
Sing it.
I've got sunshine
on a cloudy day. Very nice.
Thanks, buddy. What a beautiful day.
It is a great day and very few puffy clouds overhead, but mostly blue skies, like little cotton balls pinned up against a blue wall. As the Yankees are looking for the sweep against the Orioles. They've already won 8 of their first 9 series. Only the 4th Yankee team in history to do that. Julio Lugo digs in. The veteran Andy Pettitte is ready. And let's do it. here in the Bronx as Pettitte deals, strike, and we are underway.
Lugo is a late addition to this lineup. Adam Jones, their originally scheduled leadoff hitter, has been scratched from the lineup. Initial report said it was shoulder, but hearing conflicting reports, shoulder, back,
hip, general soreness. The 1-1, 2-1. Andy has averaged 6.2 innings per start, which is very good. Line drive into right center field. It's a base hit off the bat of Lugo. Bobbling it is Swisher, but he turns, recovers, and fires in. And Lugo almost gets caught sleeping. He rounded first and then was jogging back to the bag. And Cano took the throw from Swisher, fired to Teixeira. They almost got Lugo.
Boy, that would have been embarrassing, certainly for the way the Orioles have been playing. Julio Lugo getting the shot at starting this ball game. Great job by Nick Swisher. He bobbles a little bit, reason why Julio Lugo went a little further off the base. Cano recognized that, the bobble, assuming that maybe there was an aggressive secondary lead. That play was closer than it was. Look, let's see him watch get off. He bobbles and realize, okay, put on the brakes and go back, but that was very casual.
Pitch to Wigginton as a strike. Wigginton 2 for 21 against Pettitte, but having a good season, playing mostly second base with Brian Roberts out. Roberts has a herniated disc in his back and then actually exacerbated his problems by hurting his stomach by taking the medicine for the herniated disc in the back. So a lot of things they're dealing with Roberts. They don't know when he's going to get back, and he ignites this Orioles offense. So although Wigginton is putting up decent numbers, Roberts is the catalyst at the beginning of the lineup that they don't have. They really don't have a leadoff guy without him. Popped up. Cervelli. And he doesn't lean over his rail because, hey, it hit the roof of the dugout. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. In a word, it's a gorgeous day. Now in numbers, 77 degrees, 29% humidity, not much wind, and the forecast is a great day for a ball game.
I asked Tony Pena about his getting out of the way. I said it didn't look very catcher-like. He said, "Are you kidding? I did that so he could actually catch the ball." I said, "So that's your analysis?" He said, "Yeah, if I was standing there, he wouldn't have been able to get in there." I said, "Well, it looked like you were jumping out of the way. In any event, it was a great play, a lot of fun for everybody to watch." Dave Island gave him a big pat because Tony Pena does such a great job with the catchers, and mostly in the case of a backup catcher going down the left field line or right field line before a game and working on blocking balls. Cervelli's been very good. Yesterday he saved a couple of runners at third base blocking the baseball. Lead. No lead from Lugo. You mentioned about Brian Roberts, Mike, and really this guy is not only important to the Orioles, but a very good player across baseball. Before he had signed his multi-year contract, talking of him maybe getting traded to the Cubs a couple years ago. But this lineup has been really abysmal for the most part. They've gotten a little bit hotter since the sweep of the Red Sox out in Baltimore before this series. You get an igniter, as you say, and Brian Roberts. Adam Jones has not hit stride all-star last year. Bringing in Garrett Atkins, who really has gotten hot during this series. Markakis has been consistent. And Wigginton now is getting an opportunity.
Pitch is outside, 2-2.
Watching Andy's last start, he was really going away a lot, and Andy, said in the scout report, and what he's been effective is really identifying the hitter and going both sides of play. It'd be interesting to watch this game, how much he comes inside, I thought the White Sox hitters really were going the other way with perfect paint fastball. Hey there.
Wigginton now 2 for his last 22 against Pettitte. Let's take a look at the Yankees defense, brought to you by Mercedes. Wigginton looking at the scoreboard to see the replay. And you're looking at the defense. Wynn, Gardner, and Swisher left to right. Infield, Rodriguez, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira. That's third to first. Cervelli behind the plate as Posada gets another day off, and Pettitte is on the mound. A little outside.
Not for Paul Emmel.
There's a strike to Nick Markakis. Up and in as Markakis spins out of the way.
That's part of it, the effectiveness of any left-handed pitcher. You come inside, certainly not trying to hit anybody. But the reason why left-handed hitters can hit left-handed pitchers, and they should be uncomfortable with that breaking ball going away, is that a pitcher, left-handed pitcher, doesn't really establish that he'll come inside. Keeping that outside corner breaking ball down the way, something where they can't dive out over. Like that. And I say in patterns, Major League hitters now with video underneath the dugouts here, there's little rooms for certain video analysis and scouting and watching the tapes. And you know, sometimes as a pitcher, you get in patterns, and you know, and other teams, hitting coaches identify the pattern and look for certain areas.
Let's see if they can turn two. There's one on to first. It's a double play. And that's the 6th double play that Andy has induced this year. A 4-6-3 to end the inning. No runs a hit and nobody left on base. Baltimore nothing. And the New York Yankees coming to bat. Hernandez, and is presented by Lexus. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off, batting second and DHing Nick Johnson. Mark Teixeira at first base will bat third. Alex Rodriguez still stuck on 2 home runs. The third baseman cleans up, batting fifth. And playing second base, Robinson Cano. Nick Swisher's in right field. He'll bat sixth. Batting seventh, playing center field, Brett Gardner. Francisco Cervelli will catch. Randy Wynn in left field is going to bat next.
And for the Orioles, you know, David Hernandez, 24-year-old, making his 6th start of the year. Struggling, has not gotten a win. The 4.5 ERA, somewhat respectable. Certainly the 15 walks, 17 strikeouts, 260 batting average. Got a good fastball. 15 walks in the 27 innings, a little bit too high. Too many base runners.
So Derek Jeter digs in. And Hernandez deals low.
Let's take a look at the Jeep pitcher scatter report. Drought, I mentioned about him. He's lost his last 9 decisions dating back to August 17th of last year, tied with Justin Masterson for that streak. You don't want to be on. Fly ball pitcher. Less than half of his outs have been fly balls. It's not a good situation. Ball up in the zone, especially down in Camden Yard. And third pitch, fastball slider, like most Major League pitchers who are trying to find that ability to get to the next level, is really fought with the third pitch. For the most part, watch these Yankee hitters today. It'll be a fastball slider combination. very occasional changeup. Trying to work on a third pitch as most young pitchers do. Any pitcher. Just become less predictable.
By playing today's game, Derek Jeter ties Lou Gehrig for second place on the Yankees' all-time games played list. And number one is Mickey Mantle. Raced the other way, but foul. Here's the number 7 for the Mick. Chop towards second. Wigginton. And there's one away. Let's take a look at the Orioles defense, brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, Reimolds at left, Montanez in center, and Markakis at right. Infield, Tejada, Lugo, Wigginton, and Atkins third to first. Tatum behind the plate, Hernandez on the mound. There's Nick Johnson. Nick still finding his way. One for his last 14. Didn't play yesterday against the left-hander, Brian Mattis. Hitting 134. That one's driven deep to right. There it goes. See ya. 1-0 Yanks. Nick Johnson crushed that one into the second deck. His second home run of the year.
Johnson trying to work on being a little more aggressive. He's got the great eyes, a lot of walks. His on-base percentage is good, but the Yankees are hoping that he charges some more balls like that, down and in. Sweet spot for a left-handed swinger. Completely out of this ballpark. That was a line drive home run.
Mark Teixeira takes pitch outside.
Great swing, gets to the fastball. Watch it, hands down and in. High finish, beautiful swing.
Johnson's first home run since April 13th, which was 44 at-bats ago. Foul back.
Need to put a charge in this ball down. Yeah. Just when you look at where Johnson's batting average, 147 now, and just especially this ballpark here, left-handed. He's got a nice swing, good approach.
High fly ball, right field. Markakis back on the track, and in front of the wall, he makes the play. So the Yankees flirting with back-to-back jacks, but they don't get it done.
Teixeira just out in front of that little breaking ball, enough for David Hernandez. Say, what's it breaking up? He's out front, throws his hands. Hoping here, Yankee Stadium, maybe it has enough just underneath it.
Alex Rodriguez takes a pitch low, 1-0. Alex just 2 home runs. He doesn't have a home run in his last 50 at-bats. His longest homerless streak since joining the Yankees was 72 games. That was in 2009. That was last year. 72 at-bats, I'm sorry. Like 72 games. .72 at-bats, about 18 games without a home run. Maybe say each game's 4 at-bats.
Well, just watching him during this little bit of a slump, his pitch has always been that outer half, somewhere over here where you drive that ball to right field. He's just been off it just enough. He's missing it. Guy will sit on pitches. Certain hitters they'll say, just see the ball and hit the ball. That Alex is one that will know the pitcher, know the scatter report, identify certain areas in which that the pitcher throws the majority of the pitches and look for that spot. It's just been in between right now.
Popped up. Shallow center. Montanez comes on to make the play for the final out of the first. But the Yankees take the lead. Nick Johnson on his first pitch of the at-bat. He goes yard deep into the second deck here. You by Acela Express. Enjoy the journey. Tomorrow's an off day, but the Yankees head to Boston Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday night. Then a 4-game set in Detroit, 3 night games, and then Thursday, the 13th, is a 1:05 start. Back to the stadium next weekend for 3 games against the Minnesota Twins. Andy Pettitte with a 1-0 lead. Deals to Tejada. Right back to the mound. 1 away. Including the postseason, Andy Pettitte in his last 22 starts, 13-2 with a 3.07.
And it's just hearing those numbers, Michael, it's a comfort level for a guy when you get a little older. Obviously, he's healthy. He looks good, free and easy. Ball coming out of his hand easy.
Punched out, right field, shallow. Coming on as Swisher has to play it on a hop. So a bloop single by Atkins. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes.
What a series so far for Atkins. 5 for 8 now.
Now check out the super mode. This is the shadow torque. Watch the arm, and in super, oh, it's like a buggy whip.
That's cool. I just think with Andy, so far, as good a start as he's had is really, when you say about managing the lineup, every pitcher picks a guy or two sometimes as to who you don't want to beat you. And you make those good pitches. Weeders didn't like that call from Paul Emmel. Looks like right now the home plate umpires maybe just giving that little bit on the outside part of the plate, and you don't mind it as a hitter or a pitcher. You just don't want the plate to move. As it did, or at least CC thought it did the other day with Bill behind the plate.
Well, I'll already introduce you to Paul Emmel behind the plate at first base. Gary Darling. At second base, Bill Holm. And at third base, Bruce Dreckman. The 2-2. Hot shot up the middle and past Jeter into center field for a base hit. So Atkins goes to second and a single for Wieters.
I thought with that ball hitting off the mound the way it did, Wieters hits the ball sharply right here. Hanging changeup hits up high enough. Was it slow enough for Derek to get to? Wasn't the yes mo? It had a little more trajectory on the mound. Anytime a ball hits off the pitcher's mound at 10-12 inches height, good swing from Matt Wieters. He can be a good looking ball player. Georgia Tech. Struggling early in the year, as many of these Oriole hitters have, 179, but he hits left-handers better than right-handers, as most right-handers are streaky. 304 coming into today's game against lefties, 114 against right-handers.
Jeter grabs that one, flips to Cano, on to first, it's a double play. So Reimold bangs into a 6-4-3 double play as Pettitte gets out of a jam. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and because of this double play, 1 man left. 1 in Yesmo.
I'll tell you that Derek bobbled a little bit, but the impressive part of this is just marvel at Robinson Cano's arm strength. Ball, he gets it from behind. Derek bobbled a little bit, but a strong throw. Reimold not the fastest guy in the big leagues. What an impressive arm from Robinson Cano. See Derek bobble a little bit, gets a little side shuffle pass. Nice play.
And Robinson Cano leads off, shows bunt, takes a pitch. 1-0. Cano at 376 leads the major leagues, and he's on a little bit of a mini slide, 3 for his last 16.
Well, if you said that the Yankees were going to win the first 2 against the Orioles Would you have thought that between Jeter, Cano, Teixeira, and A-Rod coming into today, they were 4 for 29? So it's about the balance of this lineup, and the lower half of the lineup yesterday with Cervelli. Pena had some key hits. Brett Gardner's been good. The bottom half of this lineup, Swisher in the first game, batting 7th, 3 for 3.
Here's the amazing thing about the Yankees' 18-8 start is that the number 2, 3, and 4 hitters in their normal lineup really have not hit. Nick Johnson hasn't hit. Mark Teixeira hasn't hit. Alex Rodriguez has only 2 home runs. He's driven in some runs with just 2 home runs. So 2, 3, and 4 have not done what they're supposed to do. And the Yankees still 18-8. Robinson Cano with a deep fly ball to center. Montanez goes back. 1 away. Well, it's time for the Toyota Text Poll. Today's question is, if you're working during a game, how do you like to follow the action? And the choices are: 1, listen on the radio; 2, follow on my computer; 3, updates on my phone, mobile device; 4, record the game and watch when I get home. You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. I'm sure 1 and 2 really upsets the employers. Cinco de Mayo being celebrated here in the Bronx. They probably took the day off from work, those guys. You celebrating Cinco de Mayo tonight?
Yeah, we have a big party tonight.
Yeah?
I make a mean guac.
Really?
I do. You like guacamole?
Not really. The 1-0. You know what I always thought guacamole tasted like? Ground up green White Castle.
Come on. You haven't had a good guacamole.
Well, I wasn't invited to the party today, so count 2 and 1.
You mentioned about the offense of the middle of the lineup, and it'll be eventually Teixeira and A-Rod will be right there. It really says a lot about the pitching. The pitching has been stellar. Conversely, you look at what the Orioles are 1-14 when they score 4 runs or less. In this series, they're 2-0 against the Orioles. They've scored 4 runs and 4 runs respectively. Yesterday, 4-1 victory. Same for the first night.
Driven deep to right. There it goes. See ya. A red-hot Nick Swisher clubs another home run, his 5th of the year, and the Yankees lead 2-0.
Well, the Knicks got it going on here. Nick Johnson hit a rocket line drive home run. Now Swisher. This ball got out of here in a hurry. His 5th home run of the season. Gets a high fastball. Puts a good swing on. As Michael said, he has been hot since the White Sox series. Coming back on this homestand. That ball was crushed.
Boy, for a guy coming into this homestand that was flummoxed by the Bronx. Just didn't hit well here last year. I think he was 1 for his first 24 this year. And he has solved those problems in this homestand. He did not hit his 3rd home run at the stadium last year until June 8th. So he is well ahead of that pace. Now Paul Emmel talking things over with the Oriole dugout, and he's throwing somebody out. Don't know if it was Tremblay, don't know if it was Rick Kranitz, but somebody's thrown out.
Boy, that's a quick one there. Now, obviously from up here, we don't know how much jawing was going on, but it wasn't obvious enough for everybody in the ballpark to know that they were asking where the pitches were. You're not allowed to question balls and strikes, but certainly from the bench you could ask, where did you get that? That ball looks high enough, low enough, whatever you're saying. Paul Emmel did not want to hear it.
Now it's tough when a pitching coach gets thrown out because he's going to go out to the mound and give pitchers advice and maybe make some mechanical adjustments, something like that. So if Kranitz is in fact thrown out.
Well, they have their bullpen coach. Bullpen coach is usually another pitching coach. Alan Dunn is the bullpen coach for the Orioles.
It was right before, and he's looking over there, and he's engaging them, and I guess they didn't shut up, and he said, okay, you're done. And that was a reaction to the toss, I guess, by Kranitz.
Well, the certain umpires certainly have shorter fuses, and Paul Emmel showed that right there. He wasn't going to hear it. I think it's a little bit sensitive on an umpire's part. You should allow your pitching coach, well, players certainly appreciate their pitching coach or manager having their support, and also remind them, say, just a simple, where are you getting that? And all you can see from the side, obviously, is up and down. You can't see in and out.
And it is Rick Kranitz that is ejected, not Dave Tremblay. Count 2-1. First time Kranitz has ever been ejected as Oriole pitching coach. And Jeff Datz, the bench coach, is working the phone. Maybe getting, as Al said, the bullpen coach, Alan Dunn, to come in and do that job.
But that's an important spot, too, down there. Getting guys ready, making sure they're ready.
Off the glove of Garrett Atkins. And Gardner has himself a base hit.
Hot smash from Gardner. Atkins has played a nice defensive series here for the Orioles. He's been hitting as well. That ball should have been made. I don't know whether it's timing. It almost looked like he got caught not seeing that baseball. It wasn't that far to his right, and then clanking it on his heel. The ball was hit hard, but I think as a Major League first baseman, that ball should have been covered.
Eight-game hit streak for Gardner. He's now 23 for his last 53. Here's Cervelli. Jabba Chamberlain was all over Cervelli today in the clubhouse. Said, you didn't have to make that dive into the dugout. You don't have to make that dive. And Cervelli's listening. And after the job is done, he turns to Jabba and goes, you know what that is? That's envy speaking. Envy.
Did he use jealousy?
He used envy. This is the play.
It was more of that little slide down there railing. Look at Dave Island all pumped up, excited with Tony Pena.
Pitch high. I thought that you were great today, Al, when you recreated that slide.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Here you are. And that was on the world famous segment 2 right before the game. Gardner goes. Another stolen base. His 13th of the year. He's been caught once. This guy is really turning into a weapon for the Yankees.
You betcha, Michael. Love it. The fact that he's as fast as he is. You just run yourself out of never having a slump. Let's see what kind of leg kick. Medium leg kick from David Hernandez, but it doesn't matter. He outruns baseballs. 31% is the average so far, caught stealing with Matt Wieters behind the plate. But Brett Gardner is that fast. There's very few guys faster than Brett Gardner. And also, he's only going to get better with identifying pitchers and knowing moves and getting better jumps. He's going to lead the American League in stolen bases one year.
Well, Pierre had a couple yesterday, so he's at 14. Juan Pierre of the White Sox. But the way Pierre's hitting, I don't know if he's going to have enough times on base to beat out Gardner.
Well, you got Crawford somewhere in the weeds there.
And before the stolen base, Gardner got on with a hit off the glove of Atkins, his 7th infield hit this year. And you just get the feeling if he makes an infielder move a step or two, either way, he's going to beat it out. And they hurry, too, because they know it's Gardner running.
And you're right, and the batter gets the benefit of that, because you rush as a pitcher, the ball generally gets up in the zone.
Up in the zone is where Cervelli went, and he goes back with a strikeout. Chased the pitch out of the zone. That would have been ball 4.
So Weeders is set up, high up and away, just couldn't catch up to a good crisp fastball from Hernandez.
Here's Randy Wynn. Had a big home run in the first game of the series. That was the winning margin in the Yanks 4-1 victory. Now, after the home run, if you peeked into the Yankee dugout, you watched these two guys really going at it, really celebrating. So I asked Kevin Long today, I said, well, what was that about? Well, I mean, you're never that animated with Joe. He said, well, we're leaning there right before he comes to the plate. As the ball gets away from Tatum, allowing Gardner to go to third. He said, and Joe said to me, what would you do if Wynn hits a home run right here? And Kevin Long said, I'd go crazy. I'd do a dance. I'd go absolutely nuts. Next pitch, he hits a home run, and that's why he reacted the way he did. Slapping at Girardi, and Girardi laughing.
They like him, the hitters. Good guy, Kevin Long, but, you know, hitting coaches, pitching coaches, any coaches, there's a psychology aspect of your job as well, and he's so positive. And it's the last thing a player wants to do, especially when they're struggling, is to have somebody be negative or sarcastic or constantly beating them down.
Off-speed pitch, and Wynn with an awkward swing strikes out to end the inning. The Yankees 1 run on 2 hits. No errors and 1 man left. The 1 run came off the bat of Nick Swisher. Boy, did he crush it. It's his 5th home run, a 2-0 Yankees. Over the Baltimore Orioles as the Yankees trying for the sweep before they go back on the road. And Greg Tatum will lead off against Andy Pettitte. Pitches high. Now, Francisco Cervelli has not yet gone to the mound to talk with Pettitte, because Pettitte's done pretty well over the first 2 innings with 2 double plays. But Kimberly Jones joins us from the third base camera well here at the stadium. And Cervelli is a good communicator with his pitchers, isn't he, Kim?
He says that's the most important part of his job right now, Michael, because we all know he does the homework leading up to a game. But he told me that last night one of his goals with AJ, for instance, was to make him laugh when he went to the mound. I asked AJ about that. They wouldn't give up the words that made AJ smile, but AJ said, he's just trying to make me relaxed. Everyone in this clubhouse knows I'm a better pitcher when I'm relaxed. So I said to Cervelli, how's it different today with Andy if and when you make a visit to the mound? He said, Andy makes adjustments quicker than anyone else on our staff. I only have to say a couple of words. I said, are they funny? He said, oh no, not with Andy. You just communicate the message, you get back behind the plate. But he also said that Andy is a very good communicator between innings.
Al, are you a good communicator with your catchers?
Yeah. You know, Kim, absolutely. I think, you know what I'm intrigued, Kim, what you said about different in between innings. So obviously you look at the glare of Andy Pettitte. Yep. He's got the look. How is it different when he goes? Does Andy talk more? Does he laugh?
Yes.
When is there laughter?
Well, not so much laughter, but he is the most communicative of anyone on the staff between innings with Cervelli. On the mound, brief conversation. Between innings, sometimes they never stop talking. They're rehashing the inning before, looking ahead, and sometimes Andy will just say, well, what do you think about my changeup today? And Cervelli gives him an answer.
Tatum with a ground ball to Jeter. And there's one away. Now, a couple of pitching questions out in the bullpen, Kim. And Jabba Chamberlain has saved the last two games for the Yankees with Mariano down with the sore side. So what's the availability of both of those guys?
Mariano is perhaps available, but Joe Girardi's saying he wants to be cautious, so we will likely not see Mariano till Friday. Jabba likely not available after those back-to-back saves, which Jabba called, quote, pretty cool, unquote. Also, Jabba told me, speaking of communication, he has been talking Mariano's ear off the past couple games in the bullpen. He said they go through scenarios with pitch count, with certain hitters, game situations. He also says the best advice Mariano has given him lately, don't overthink this.
Ground ball, grabbed there by Cano to gun down Montanez, 2 away.
He says, don't overthink it. A 2-2 count, make your pitch. That's your most important pitch. He tells Jabba, yeah, that sounds obvious. That's my point. Stop overthinking. It's been working very well for Jabba.
Hey,
you know, that's really a nice university to go to, the University of Mariano. Better than Penn State, right, Kim?
I don't know about that, but it's a good one.
Hey, Kim, I know you know the guys and you interview and you talk to Mariano much. Is he a guy that offers it, or do players have to actually talk to him about it?
Both, as I think we're seeing the third out. He'll offer, but he'll also listen if they ask.
Well, thank you, Kim. We'll see you in the postgame. The Orioles go down in order 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the third inning with the Yankees up 2-0 on Yes. By Johnny Walker, demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. May 5th of 1922, construction begins on Yankee Stadium. How weird is that, though? Now it takes 2 years to build the stadium. It started May 5th of 22. They opened the season in 1923 on April 18th. So they got it done in about 11 months. Pretty amazing. Here's Derek Jeter. Pitch inside, and here is what's left. That is all that's left of the grand old ballpark.
And it would have been quicker, right? They had to take it apart in pieces.
Almost like brick by brick, because it's a very hard building. You can't implode it because it's right near the train station. So it's almost brick by brick, and you can see the last part standing is a part right near the train tracks. And it has given way to this beautiful structure right across the street. And in its first year, hosted a world championship. That one's blooped into right center field. That is going to dunk in for a base hit. So a bloop single for Derek Jeter to lead off the third.
Well, this Oriole staff has been throwing Derek inside, and he's been caught in between that right center Jeterian swing. Look at the bat vibration on that, but he was able to pull his hands in enough and get enough out there in no man's land in front of Mark Pettitte.
That's a strike to Nick Johnson. Count 1-1. Johnson with a home run his first time up.
Connected on a nice fastball on the inner part of the plate. Just coming back with a changeup here. Let's see if David Hernandez stays soft away on him or try to challenge him inside.
Take a look at the first home run that Nick Johnson hit today.
Well, you see the sweet spot there, down and in. Most left-handers that like that ball barrel the back and get to that zone quickly. Certainly here at Yankee Stadium, it's definitely a happy spot for Nick Johnson.
Yankees have 2 home runs today, Nick Johnson and Nick Swisher. A rare good day in New York for the Knicks.
Cute.
And a count 3-1. Although as of July 31st, things could turn around for those Knicks if LeBron decides to leave home.
Oh, he is.
You think so?
Yeah, I got the scoop on that one. I do. It's good
You've
for
got
the game.
the scoop on it?
No. It's just my opinion. I think it'd be good for the game. They've kind of have lost a little bit of identity, I think, since MJ left. We've got a lot of great players. Kobe's great. I think LeBron, there's got to be a bigger presence in New York.
Nick Johnson works a walk. You know, with opinions like this on all sports, you should really look into the talk radio business.
You got that cornered.
God, that would be the greatest show of all time. It really would.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of dead air.
So first and second, nobody out. Here is Mark Teixeira. Teixeira fly ball to deep right in the first inning. Markakis went back to the wall. And now Hernandez is all over the place, 1-0. Six straight out of the zone.
Well, the thing with David Hernandez is wild, effectively wild. I guess you would call that with 15 walks. But when runners in scoring position, only 196 coming into today. Andy Pettitte 173 with runners in scoring position. Says gets behind. He's erratic enough with his control. See him check swing. That's really the batting average I look for is when runners are on, what does a pitcher do to make a pitch to get the out? As the Yankee hitters do so well, they make pitchers work, get that pitch count up, see pitches, see release point, not swinging at the first pitch.
And there's a walk to Swisher, and Hernandez really getting himself into a jam. Bases loaded, nobody out. The cleanup hitter, Alex Rodriguez, coming up. Alan Dunn, the bullpen coach, now serving as the pitching coach. Rick Kranitz was just thrown out an inning ago, so Dunn making the trip to the mound. Voting is now open for the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim. Help send your favorite New York Yankees to this year's All-Star Game by voting up to 25 times at Yankees.com. Just like old-time Chicago. Visit Yankees.com and cast your ballot now for your 2010 All-Stars. Vote early and vote often. Vote today at Yankees.com. Derek Jeter's at third. Nick Johnson at second. And Mark Swisher at first. So Dunn was not shy about assuming the role of pitching coach there, Al. He looked like he was lightning to David Hernandez.
Well, you know, the pitching coach and bullpen coach, there's a relationship there. When you get side work for the starting pitchers, the bullpen coach is there, usually either standing at home plate or right next to the pitching coach. And the relationship, again, between Rick Kranitz and Alan Dunn is most combos are solid if they're going to help the pitching staff as a whole.
Hot shot up the middle, a base hit for Alex Rodriguez. Jeter scores. Here comes Nick Johnson. Here's the throw. He's out. Good throw by Montanez and a good tag by Tatum as the Yankees take a 3-0 lead on the RBI single by Alex Rodriguez.
Wow, watching this unfold from the perspective up here in the booth, I thought for sure Nick Johnson was safe. Let's see the throw. Montanez made a great throw. Let's see where the carom in front of the pitcher's mound, which is where you want it. I don't know. He must have missed the plate with his front foot. He beat the throw. Tatum covered.
I think he was safe. We're going to take a look at that in the extra super slow-mo yes-mo that we have. And right now, let's see.
Like Tatum covering home plate as he should. Let's see if this... Oh, he never extends.
No, you know what?
Wow.
He never touched the plate.
His left foot never extended. It looked like it pulled up on the plate.
That's a great replay. Great tool to really slow it down and see it.
Great call by Paul Emmel, really, because it looked like, well, the ball beat him. So in a lot of ways, umpire will react. Where did the ball get there early? But he stayed with it. Good call.
So the Yankees up 3-0 as they're building a picket fence over the first 3 innings, 1 run each inning. One more look, and you see the left leg is the one that, if he puts it down, it hits home plate, but it goes over the plate.
Yeah, he's touched him there. He's out. That foot never got down.
Good job by the crew. Great pictures, guys.
Yes.
One, 2. Outside. 2-2. Swing and a miss as Cano goes down on strikes for the second out. maybe that out at the plate re-energized David Hernandez as he comes back to strike out Cano. Mark Hendrickson getting ready just in case it didn't. And that's going to bring up Nick Swisher. Nick hitting .429, 3 homers and 6 ribbies with 5 runs scored on the homestand. 6-game homestand for the Yankees. They've won 4 of the 5 games. Pitch high. Now they win today. That means they win 5 of the 6. And in their first homestand, they also won 5 of 6. So as they did last year, they're protecting their home court, so to speak, and winning big time here at the stadium. How about a difference in pitch counts? Pettitte through 3 has thrown 36 pitches. And Hernandez through 2 2/3 has thrown 66 pitches. So 30 more. Strike to ball ratio almost 1-to-1. 1-1. 2-1.
23 in this inning. That's a big number. And I think any pitcher that faces the Yankee lineup, that's what they deal with. And it's not just the 3, 4, 5 in the order. 1 through 9 become very selective, really make the pitcher throw to their zone. And they make him throw it over the plate. Sounds kind of simple, but.
High fly ball, center field. Montanez is there, and he will put it away for the final out of the inning. But the Yankees score 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We played 3-0 Yanks. Quiz. Andy Pettitte is one of 3 pitchers all time to have at least a .500 record with at least 15 starts in each of his first 15 seasons. Who are the other 2 pitchers? Interesting. And there's a strike to Ty Wigginton. Only 3 pitchers in big league history. Pretty impressive. The 2-1 popped up right side, and Cano puts it away for the first out. Now we never give out clues because we could lose our jobs over it. But the 2 pitchers that form that trio that have done what we just asked, Very famous pitchers. Very famous.
Wow, that really narrows it down. Well, a Home Depot hitter scouting report. Left-handed Al Kaline. Talking to Jim Palmer, he said that Markakis is a guy that reminds him of Al Kaline. Just does everything right, but not with a whole lot of flash. Like a base hit to left center field. Just a good-looking player for the Orioles and baseball as a whole. Quite the pitcher. This guy was considered, Mike, to be drafted as a pitcher at a high school. Said he threw in the low 90s. He had a good curve, slider, ended up being a good choice, being a great right fielder. Cobb County baseball. He grew up in Long Island, Glen Cove. When he was 10 years old at 5th grade, his parents thought, let's get down south and play some more baseball. And he's one of those Cobb County baseball kids out of northern Atlanta area, and ended up getting to the big leagues with the Orioles and having a nice career.
I always find that unbelievable.
How many
so
kids
the kid
are
is
there?
10, right?
10.
And the parents decide,
that wasn't the only
this guy's
reason.
so good, let's go move to the South to have him play more
That
baseball?
wasn't the only reason. But he moved south, and he was a good baseball player, and I'm sure there were maybe some other reasons, but yeah, there's people who do that.
No, you know why I say that? Because
you don't have any kids.
No, we interviewed Lindsey Vonn, the Olympic gold medalist, yesterday for Center Stage. And you'll see that a little bit later on. And her family moved from Minnesota out to Colorado when she was 11 because they said, you know what? She could be a champion. I mean, uproot the whole family because one kid has the talent. I think that's startling.
Well, I know gymnasts do the same. That's another whole other world, moving around different countries where the great coaches are.
Line drive, a base hit to left field off the bat of Tejada.
Just chipping away right here. Tejada always tough against left-handers. A little hanging backdoor slider. Tejada able to reach out and hook that ball to left field. Right now, Andy's struggling a little bit with the ball up in the zone. Here's Cervelli trying to get on the same page, maybe go over a little bit of a scout report. Garrett Atkins has hit the Yankees during this series. Atkins' approach basically has been right center field. Let's see if they change it a little bit during this at bat, see if they come inside a few times.
Orioles have not been able to cash in these spots all series, 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position. Count 1-0 on Atkins, who had a bloop single in the second inning. Atkins signed as a free agent, was a Colorado Rocky, $4.5 million. Has not exactly been what they expected because they're platooning him with Ryan Hughes at first base. That's not why the Orioles, who spend their money somewhat judiciously, would give a guy $4.5 million to play half the time. And if you're the right-handed side of a platoon, you're only going to play a third of the time. There aren't that many lefty starters.
Well, and I think that's been part of Atkins' trouble. Certain guys, well, not too many guys like to platoon anywhere, but he's a guy, when he gets plenty at bats a couple years ago, 301 in 07, 329 in 06 with Colorado, respectively, 29, 25 home runs. And then when you get less at bats and you start platooning, and his last year in Colorado, 354 at bats as opposed to the 600 plus, his batting average went down to 226. Hard enough for day in and day out for these major league hitters to get their rhythm and timing and the swing right. Playing every day, let alone sitting. Especially if you're accustomed to playing. I think with Randy Wynn, he had the big home run the first game here during this series, and just to be patient and know that here's a guy that's had 500-600 bats a year, and now he's relegated to picking his spots. It's very tough to get that call, get in the game, and then get the big hit.
All right, what's going on now? As Andy was coasting until this point, so what's happened this inning now?
Well, I think here with the fact that there's a runner at second base, you want to make sure you're on the same page. Once there's a couple shakes, Cervelli chooses to come out and make sure that he wants to know exactly what Andy wants to throw so that there's conviction behind the pitch. I think right now Andy's struggling a little bit. The ball's up. He's not really as sharp with getting ahead and the put-away pitch. He's left some change-ups up in the zone, fastballs, a little backdoor cutter to Tejada.
Runners go, and the ball fouled away, so they send the runners on 3-2 and 1 out. Dave Tremblay's trying to get something going.
Well, that's the trust in a couple things here. Atkins handling the bat, he's hot this series, being able to trust that he'll put the ball in play. Showing that it line drive stroke. If he's going to put it in play and not a base hit, something on the ground, of course.
That time they don't go. How strange is that? As Atkins works a walk. I mean, the old baseball adage is you go once, you go every single time. Maybe somebody missed a sign when they went.
Well, you know what? The previous pitch is watching Tejada behind Markakis, making sure that Markakis was taken off. I don't know whether maybe it was a hit and run. You have Atkins who's hot, who can handle the bat, thinking that he's not going to swing at a ball out of the zone, take his walk if Andy throws the ball as he just did there. And also, too, force the offense. They haven't been scoring. They haven't been getting runs scored. Make them swing.
There's a strike.
But yeah, why you would do it on 3-1 and not 3-2, I'm not sure why.
No, they did it on 3-2, and then they didn't do it on 3-2.
3-2 and then 3-2 again, yeah.
That doesn't make sense at all.
Nope.
I saw that Andy has been laboring a little bit, and the first pitch called to Wieters was a breaking ball. And that seems to be the thing that catchers do when pitchers are getting out of sync, Al. Why is that? They say it slows you down?
Yeah, you got it. Look, if you're struggling with your other two pitches, fastball, cutter, slider combination, occasional changeup, he hasn't thrown many curveballs, it'll absolutely slow you down. You have a hitter looking for fastball, you got a free strike.
By the way, this is the first time all season that Andy Pettitte has loaded the bases. Markakis at third, Tejada at second, and Atkins is at first. Just got a piece to stay alive.
Spoiling it right there. Andy makes a good pitch, and Wieters is able to just get enough of that slider going down and in. Making him work right here, the Orioles hitters are to Andy Pettitte. Well, it's a good downward bite. Spoiling that. Watch this. Yes, Mo just fouling it off.
1-2. He struck him out. Big strikeout for Andy Pettitte. Let's take a look at the pitch-by-pitch, Al, brought to you by Suzuki Kazashi.
Wow, this was a nice combination all the way through the at-bat. He started him off with a little backdoor curveball. Busted his hands inside, foul ball, then tried to paint away. See Cervelli trying to set it up. That slider, again, Wieters spoiling him, and then elevates on a nice fastball, 89 miles an hour. Changed the eyesight from that down and in or down and away zone as he did with the backdoor curveball, and then the slider. Good pitch. There's a big curveball getting into the count.
So a strike to Reimold.
And backdoor curveball, for people, it's starting on the opposite side of where the batter's standing. This would be backdoor on this side, as opposed to front door, which would be inside on the inside corner. And you hear reference to backdoor and front door. Front door would be for a left-handed hitter right now to throw at his hip, and it'll break on the inside corner of the plate, thus coming in the front door. Not sure why they use doors, but that's the expression.
Let's not overthink it.
No.
2-1. And the count 2-2. Got a good fastball today at 89 miles an hour. The way Andy pitches, that's plenty good enough to get people out.
I'll tell you, if he could paint that pitch again, what he just did right there, nice little, what looked like a two-seamer running down the way. Perfect location. See if he could duplicate that. The ball was perfectly located.
Foul back.
Coming inside. So then he went down and away, coming inside, a little bit on the plate. You got a guy struggling, 176. Nolan Reimold has not found his swing yet. A little bit too much of the plate.
Two-two. And the count full at 3-2. There's no place to put Reimold. And on deck is Craig Tatum. So the runners will go on 3-2 and 2 outs.
Go back with that fastball away. He saw that last slider, looked at it well.
And he misses inside to force in a run. So an RBI for Reimold. Markakis touches up. And the Yankee lead is now 3-1, and Dave Island will come out and talk with Andy Pettitte.
Well, he ended up getting a bad count, but this was just almost dotted the outside corner. He's counting that ball low. And it's going to get plate coverage, and actually ended up being middle of the plate. And this is side. Yeah, below the knees.
Now with Tatum, a light-hitting backup catcher coming up behind Reimold. I'm not saying he wanted to walk Reimold, but he wasn't going to throw a cookie right down the middle and say, here's 3-2. Do what you can with it.
Well, you're right. With the bases loaded, anything can happen. Major league hitters have a bat in their hand, and even though Reimold has been struggling, thinking that you trust you can make your good pitch there, he's trying to go a little fastball away, missed down the zone.
Well, one of the things that Oriole announcer and Hall of Famer Jim Palmer is most proud of is he never allowed a grand slam in his career. And he's told me, I've walked guys with the bases loaded. He said, but I was never going to give up a home run.
So he was conscious of it, obviously, after so many years of pitching. Not wanting to give up that granny.
You gave up a granny?
I did. I think more than one.
The 0-1. Grounded to second. Tough hop for Cano, but he makes the play and records the out. 1 run on 2 hits, couple of walks, and the bases are left loaded. Smoker's Quit Line Quiz. Andy Pettitte is one of 3 pitchers all-time to have at least a .500 record with at least 15 starts in each of his first 15 seasons. Now, who are the other 2? We said they were very big names, Al.
Big
names.
Babe Ruth. Cy Young.
And Tom Seaver.
Tom, terrific.
Tom was kind of an idol of yours, right?
Yes. He was an idol of the Leiter family.
Really?
Yes.
Now, when you got to know him, did he live up to your idol standards?
Yes.
Was he nice to you?
He was nice.
Yeah?
He's a great pitcher. You know, he'd tell you what you were doing wrong quickly. I had a chance to go out to his vineyard out in Napa. Beautiful, beautiful place he's got.
Did you drink when you were out there?
I did.
Yeah? How was the wine? Yeah?
Seaver's Vintage, and then Nancy's Fancy is his other wife.
His wife is Nancy.
Yeah. What a beautiful place. Lived up in Connecticut for a long time. Moved out to Napa Valley.
Tom was a broadcaster for the Yankees.
Yep.
For a long time. Great pairing with Phil Rizzuto. You kind of followed the same path.
He did the right. He did that game against Minnesota with Dallas Green as a manager.
That's right. You had the tape
his
of that,
voice,
right?
Yeah, saying that he thought it was kind of remarkable that I was still in there. And then I went right to a cut of the tape to Dr. Andrews doing my surgery. I think Mickey Mantle was in there. Was Mickey doing it in '89?
Not sure.
Was Hawk? No, Hawk. No, it was Hawk, Mickey in '87. Yeah.
3-2. And that's a mistake. Walking Brett Gardner to lead off the inning.
And that'll be a double, potentially.
You get that feeling, right?
Yeah, completely. I think Brett Gardner is absolutely one of the more exciting players in the game. I really do. I think what he brings to the party and his ability on the base to steal almost at will. Now, he's got a challenge here. Well, with Tatum behind the plate, not the same as with Wieters. Of course, Wieters a big draft pick out of Georgia Tech, and I mean, that's a big. You mentioned, a guy you look through the lineup, you say, okay, I don't want to walk these guys because of reasons like great speed.
There's a strike.
Talk about a great ratio. 52 stolen bases and 59 attempts for Brett Gardner in his career as a major leaguer. White Sox had a couple lefties. I thought they did a nice job holding Brett Gardner on. A lot of throwovers, tiring him out. It's John Danks and Mark Burley as the left-handers, tough guys to steal off of.
Bunted toward third. Decides to go to second. And he held the ball, didn't even make the throw. Almost like a brain lock by Tejada. He definitely had Cervelli.
Well, Tejada's out of position. He's been a career shortstop, and now here he realized he's got a lot of time. I think Wigginton, everybody was kind of surprised at the fact that he bunted it the way he did. He probably would have had him. I don't know whether he was waiting for Wigginton to be on second base. Now, right here, Gardner's plenty far off. He's got plenty of time to make the throw. And just chose not to throw. I'm not sure whether he thought Wigginton wouldn't have been able to get it. Just lead him.
So it's going to be a base hit for Cervelli. And that'll allow Randy Wynn now to bunt.
Well, happened similar kind of stuff was going on in last night's ball game with Brian Mattis's one inning where kind of threw the ball around and resulted in the pitcher throwing it down the line, but there was some little miscommunication with a bunt play toward Tejada at third base. See if he keeps the bunt side on. Wynn had 3 sacrifice bunts last year. That was a read play. As a read play, the third baseman, if he's not going to charge, he's going to read the bunt as to whether it's a real hard bunt. If it is, he's got to field it. And if not, and it's close enough to where the pitcher can field it, that's what happened last night with Brian Mattis. He's going to allow the pitcher to field the ball and then maybe go to third base. It's totally based on communication.
Wow, that was not an easy pitch to bunt. It seemed like it was heading toward his head. And that's bunted in the air. Grabbed there by Tejada. He makes the play at first. Now that one I'm wondering why it didn't catch on a fly. Hey, we told you last night Tejada's going to have trouble with bunts. Just hasn't practiced enough.
Yeah, I don't think he would have had it, Mike. But even there, look where he's playing. I mean, normally you'd have him up, 3 or 4 feet, knowing that it's a bunt situation. And at worst, once Randy Wynn was going to hit his hard slash down the third base line, it's reactionary position where you just try to knock it down if it's right at you. But right here, normally, if you know as a third baseman it's going to be bunt play, and obviously Randy Wynn has shown the all at bat, he's got to charge a little more aggressive than that, and also to start up 3 or 4 feet closer.
Infield's in now for Jeter. Runners on second and third. And a strike. No, we mentioned that the Orioles really haven't done much with runners in scoring position. In fact, they haven't had a hit. Well, the Yankees aren't much better in this series, 3 for 20. They've won the first 2 games 4-1, so they haven't exactly pounded the baseball. They're winning because of pitching. There's a ground ball to short. And they have the runner hung up. They're going to get Cervelli in a rundown. He gets tagged. And Jeter drives in a run with the ground ball, and the Yankees now lead 4-1.
Good play, heads-up play by Julio Lugo. The ball hit to the runner's left at second base. He's automatically going to go now. If he sees it's up the middle, Lugo making the aggressive play. Lugo considered going home, but with Gardner, there's no way. And you just left in no man's land. Cervelli, watch out. He gets his secondary lead. The ball's hit up the middle. Maybe instinctively could have stayed, but aggressively the idea is saying if it's hit to your left, you're going.
So you score it, fielder's choice for Jeter. He picks up an RBI, and the out is made 6-5-6. Jeter his 21st run batted in of the season. The way this lineup works out, it's so circular in nature that Jeter could arguably drive in 100 runs from the leadoff spot.
Because of the production, what's going down.
Yeah. And he's always going to come up one time a game with nobody on. That might hurt him. Mark Hendrickson warming for the second time. Count 2-1.
Well, considering last year with Derek 66 RBI. Would be quite a plus in being the leadoff.
(3-1). 3-2. That's going to release Jeter. And we mentioned Jeter's RBI total. He's tied for the team lead with Cano with 21 ribbies. Alex Rodriguez has 17. And Nick Johnson has a walk. Second walk of the day.
Well, that's just Hernandez not having the confidence. He just blew a fastball by Nick Johnson. And he comes back with a 3-2 breaking ball. Frustrating for any manager or coach to see. Just says he's just not really confident. If you just throw a good crisp heater by a guy, throw it again.
He's not going to throw anything because Dave Tremblay is going to go to the bullpen. It'll be the lefty Mark Hendrickson, and he'll spin Mark Teixeira around to the right side. Yankees lead 4-1. Come back. If you are working during a game, how do you like to follow the action? You've been texting us at 58772, and here's how you have voted. 37% get updates on their phone, 34% listen on the radio, John and Susan, 16 on the computer, and then 13 watch the game after they record it. I never liked that. You know why? Because I know the score.
But don't find out the score.
I mean, the scores are everywhere.
But thinking about the great late Ernie Harwell and, you know, how far we've come in technology, and once upon a time, obviously, there was only radio and then television, but now people are able to do the little PDAs. And you know all these PDAs, the highlights?
You can get the whole game.
You can get the whole game?
Yeah, you can get the whole game. That guy's doing it right there. Call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. And veteran lefty Mark Hendrickson against Mark Teixeira. I'm telling you, Al, the cell phones, the Blackberries, the iPhones, addictive.
You're telling us someone who knows? He's an addict.
High fly ball, deep right center. Giving chase Montanez on his way back. He can't make the play. It goes up against the wall. 2-run score. Teixeira with a 2-run double. And the Yankees are up 6-1.
We put a good swing on it. Montanez is just thinking, can he get it? Once he looked back, I thought he had a shot because he had plenty of room as far as the wall was concerned. I think by him taking his eye off right there, he didn't realize. Fighting the sun, too, a little bit and reaching out. Shares 14th RBI in the year. Yes, Mo.
So they're going to intentionally walk A-Rod, so the lefty Hendrickson could pitch the lefty Cano. That matchup really hasn't slowed Cano down this year.
Well, also, too, this year, Mike, Hendrickson has not been good against left-handers or right-handers, but left-handers, 353 batting average against. 296 with right-handers. Now it'll go up a little. Hendrickson, one of few Major League players that have played in the NBA and the Major Leagues.
So here's Cano with runners on first and second. And 2 outs. 3 runs already in. Yankees lead 6-1. Cano has 9 home runs this year. 6 of them have come against left-handed pitchers. Ooh. Count 0-2. Look at the numbers against lefties. 378. And 11 of his 21 ribbies against lefties. Strike 3. Cano down looking. Good pitching there by Hendrickson. But the Yankees get 3 runs on 2 hits. No errors and 2 men left. The big blow, this double off the bat of Mark Deshaun. Thank you, Bob. We'll hear from Bob a little bit later on. And also on the postgame with Kimberly Jones. We go to the 5th inning, 1-0 count on Lou Montanez. There's a strike. On the Kia scoreboard, it's 6-1 Yankees. Driven to right field and deep. Swisher back. Track. Reaching for the wall, makes the play.
Swisher tracked it all the way. That had some good distance. I thought a ball down and away. Montanez hitting that ball right to the wall. Great shot there. Swisher seeing where he was against the old W.B. Mason side.
Julio Lugo, one of a litany of shortstops that the Red Sox have run through. Every team has a black hole of one sort at one or another position. And for the Red Sox, they keep trying to find shortstops. In fact, Lugo's making $9 million this year as he picks up another base hit against Andy Pettitte. and $860 or $8,600,000 of that salary is being paid by the Red Sox. They pretty much essentially released him. And all the Orioles have to do is pay the prorated portion of minimum wage, which is $400,000. First Lou goes with the Cardinals, and then they released him, and now he goes to the Orioles.
Yeah, that wasn't a good sign for the Red Sox. It was a 4-year, $36 million deal where he just batted .251 for the Red Sox.
Foul back. Tomorrow's an off day for the Yankees. Then on Friday night, Yankees against the Red Sox at Fenway Park. And it's going to be Phil Hughes against Josh Beckett. Then Saturday afternoon, CC Sabathia against Clay Buchholz. And then Sunday, A.J. Burnett against John Lester.
Their pitching hasn't been what they thought it would be up to this point. Beckett had a better game. John Lester was better.
And a reminder, our coverage of Game 1 starts Friday at 6, and on Saturday and Sunday turn back to Yes after the games for our interactive postgame show, Yankees Extra Innings. You can email or tweet your thoughts and have your questions answered by the Yes team. It all starts Friday at 6, right here on Yes. You tweet it all out?
No. Do you?
No. I don't think people want to know everything I'm doing during the day. Could this be another double play? There's one. There's two. I better tweet that. A 6-4-3 double play. So Andy Pettitte now will qualify for a win if the Yankees could hold on. They are leading 6-1. You're watching Yankees baseball right here on the Yankees Entertainment. In part by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning on a beautiful day in New York City. Yankees lead 6-1. And Nick Swisher takes a strike from Mark Hendrickson. And on the Kia scoreboard, 6-7-0, leading 1-6-0. You know how superstitious players are, Al?
Yeah.
So Friday, Nick Swisher doesn't get a hit in the first game of the homestand. Saturday, I go to his locker and we start talking about why he struggles at Yankee Stadium. And he said that he admitted it's starting to get into his head and it's affecting him. And from that point on, he has gone off on a tear here at the stadium. He sees me today in the locker room. He goes, dude, anytime I'm struggling, I'm coming after you. He says, obviously, that's it. That's what happened there. He said, you talk to me, and it's turned around.
But wait a minute. So you have to talk to him every day?
No. He said only when he's struggling. I hadn't talked to him since that Saturday.
So you didn't talk to him up until that day?
I had not asked him about struggling at Yankee Stadium up until that day.
All right. So if he struggles again, you'll talk to him, as far as he's concerned.
Hot shot, grabbed there by Lugo. I might have to go talk to him. 1 away. Well, if I'm going to be used as a good luck charm,
sure, why not?
I think that there has to be some payment. I would think.
Of course you do. Are you superstitious?
I'm not really, no. I mean, there are certain things I might do out of habit, but I don't think I'm superstitious.
Like wanting to say certain things going in and out of innings or starting games?
No.
Starting games?
No. I'm not superstitious, no. I mean, there are things I do. Are you superstitious?
Here?
Anywhere.
Oh, yeah. No, as a player, I was.
Well, give me one instance.
I used to be. I didn't want to stand on, walk on the line, but then I kicked that out because I realized that was all just a bunch of bull. That didn't really matter. I used to sit in certain spots in the dugout. I do remember that. If I throw a scoreless inning, I would sit in a certain location. And if it was a bad inning, I would, move. But not as crazy as some guys. I remember Turk Wendell. He was a guy that brushed his teeth and licorice and jumping and doing all sorts of things.
Are you superstitious up here?
No, but I think you're superstitious with certain things you say.
I am not superstitious about anything I say. What are you talking about?
Like, let's do it?
That's not superstitious. It's become something that I say. It's a thing. It's not like if I don't say it.
But if I do the scatter report and I push into the first
day.
pitch, I feel like I ruined your day.
You didn't ruin my day. You might have ruined the viewers' days because you're selfish like that and you give long scatter reports. Goodness.
All right, I'll tell you what. Wait till Friday's scatter report.
That's a good time to really cut the scouting report down now. Yankees, Red Sox. Way to prove a point. Sergio Mitre warming in the Yankee pen. Chop toward short. Lugo sets, fires. Getting the hustling Gardner for the second out.
He's going to have 15 hits a year like that. Lugo did a nice job realizing he's got to hurry up, good crisp throw, get to the ball quickly because Brett Gardner can run. Watch him out of the box here. Banging on the ground. You see Ichiro up in Seattle. He gets 10, 15 hits a year, throwing a few bunts. Just keep you out of a slump.
Now, I know this would never happen now because you could, if you run full out, you could pull a hamstring and really affect the team. But you know how, like, the NBA has skills competitions the day before the All-Star break?
Right.
Wouldn't you love to see, like, a 100-yard dash between Gardner and Ichiro? Wouldn't that be thrilling?
Or
they're two of the fastest guys in baseball.
Carl Crawford. Ellsbury.
Oh, that's a nice play by Markakis to record the final out against Francisco Cervelli. Beautiful play. Goes a long way. Ignores the wall, then finds it, nudges into it a little bit, and it ends the inning. We go to the 6th. On the all-new Yankees on Deck. Al Leiter stars in that show. Follow Joe Girardi as he goes behind the scenes on Photo Day. Plus, Ramiro Pena shows you the importance of being a utility player. It's all on a new Yankees on Deck starring Al Leiter this Sunday at noon, only on Yes.
Really nice of you, Mike.
You're a good friend. I want to see that show get ratings.
It's an Emmy show.
Yes.
What a bunch. Emmy award winning.
Emmy award winning. Sergio Mitre's in. Okay, let's talk about this. Andy Pettitte with just 77 pitches.
Yeah.
So they're not taking him out because of a high pitch count. Did you see anything else?
No, I mean, other than the fact that he was just missing location wise. His crispness of the fastball was off a little bit, kind of managing through the Oriole lineup. I wouldn't say it was his best performance stuff wise, but he was able to manage 5 innings and 1 run. But this does seem a little curious, the fact that he only has the 77 pitches.
There's his line so far today.
Certainly warranted another inning with the pitch count.
Of course, usually 2 more innings.
Yeah, I'm just saying conservatively, it's, you would think at least another inning, gets 6 innings. They've gotten great starts during this series with CC and AJ.
I'm sure if there's something up, we'll hear about it. May 1st, Mitre pitched through 3 shutout innings against the White Sox and threw 46 pitches. Yankees like Mitre, and Mitre actually pitched very well in the competition for the 5th spot in spring training, but they felt that Phil Hughes was better suited for that role, and they certainly seem as if they're right on that to this point. Nub slowly in front of the plate. Grabbed by Cervelli, and he gets the hustling Markakis for the first out. A little hesitation there between Cervelli and Mitre.
Well, it's really in that no man's land area, and I think Cervelli calling off Mitre, and I think just because of his energy going toward first base, and also too his stronger arm in the sense of throwing that ball around, not wanting your pitcher to turn, pivot, and get set. That was a good play. Kind of caught in between. You're right, Michael. Mitre coming in, you want the ball, but I think Cervelli called him off. I think with Sergio Mitre, just a tremendous sinker, big movement to it. Almost looks like a split finger in many cases, where the ball just, the bottom drops out. There's a guy who had Tommy John surgery a couple years ago, and really just getting back into feeling 100% again. This is a sinker that's running up and in. Tejada ducked after the ball passed him. Anytime that ball gets up near the face, no hitter likes that.
And a strike.
It's an opportunity for Mitre. Mitre is the long man out of that pen, and it's hard to get somebody. You mentioned, Michael, against the White Sox, 3 innings. Did a nice job of trying to get your long man in the game, enough consistent work to where they're able to go the 3 innings or the 4 innings. And the way the Yankees rotation has been outside of Vasquez, they've been going deep in the game, so he's got to find, Girardi does, find spots for Mitre to get in to get some consistent work.
There's a ground ball to third. Alex Rodriguez, 2 outs.
Between Mitre and Aceves, I think they have really kind of a versatile 2 guys that can do a few different things. Aceves in a little bit different situation because he can go anywhere from long to setting up. Just know that long man spot, it's not the most favorable position out there for sure, because you're the only time really used. Well, in this case here, this isn't really long. I mean, 6 innings. Maybe you'll give him a chance to go 2 or 3 innings here, leading up to whoever we see as the closer. Well, in the 6-1 game, there wouldn't be a save situation.
Along with Al Leiter and Kimberly Jones, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball right here on Yes. We thank you for spending part of your Wednesday afternoon with us. Yankees lead the Orioles 6-1. There are our pictures, so you know what we look like. Kim looks the best. The 1-1. 2-1. Dribbled slowly toward third. It's a fair ball. Atkins didn't run. Third base umpire Bruce Druckman right there, and Atkins did not run. And Alex Rodriguez had plenty of time to throw across the diamond and gun him down as the Yankees work a 1-2-3 inning. Take a look. It goes right over the bag, hits the foul line, and then Atkins says, I better run. Much too late. Last play, the top of the 6th, you'll see the ball rolling down the third base line, and I'll tell you when it's going to become a fair ball. Freeze it right there. Once it crosses the bag and hits that line, it's a fair ball. It doesn't matter if Alex Rodriguez fielded it in foul territory at that point. And Garrett Atkins was watching and didn't look.
That's a great shot.
That one's lined into right center field. And Randy Wynn is retired. Now, technically, if it goes over the bag fair, then it's a fair ball. I think there was still some uncertainty until it landed on that line because it almost looked like it was wavering.
Because it already hit in front of the bag.
Right.
Then it just has to go over the bag, and then it could land foul territory. Well, we watched in between innings. Dave Tremblay, the manager of the Orioles, was not happy with Atkins not running it out. You hit the ball, run it out until the umpire says fair or foul.
Now, sometimes, you know, you can hustle and it could be quote-unquote false hustle. If he ran out of the box here, he has a base hit. He clutched him off a base hit.
Yep.
There's no way Alex Rodriguez would have been able to gun him down on a slow roller like that. The Orioles can ill afford to be making mistakes like that. Their margin of error is very, very small. There's a strike.
Yeah, and those are the kind of things where, especially when a team's losing, you could start looking into, bad throws, poor play in the field. Teams can accept, well, you don't ever accept a loss, but if you just get beat, you played your best, your pitchers did what they could, you just faced good pitching. If you make mental errors or errors in the field that just aren't routine or difficult plays or routine plays and you're throwing the ball around, it looks sloppy, then it becomes a real problem.
The 0-2. Check swing, slow roller toward Atkins, and that will do it. Now, before the game, Derek Jeter and his teammate Mark Teixeira received special honors. They received the Silver Slugger Award. That's for the best hitter at their respective positions. So Alex, or should I say, Mark got his and Derek got his. And earlier in the week, they both got their gold gloves.
What if they get tired of gold?
How could you get tired of greatness?
No, but I don't mean that they don't appreciate it, but just, you know, every year being honored.
It must be awful.
I know with some guys that you just become, you think, oh, I got another trophy.
Well, then they need a reality check.
I'm not saying that's what they're thinking. I'm just wonder. I just never received those awards.
That one is driven into right center field, giving Chase Montanez. He can't make the play. It's over his head and goes up against the wall. Nick Johnson is at second. He'll stop right there. So Nick Johnson has been on base all 4 times today. Boy, does he need this. 2 for 2, a home run, a double, and 2 walks.
Just real aggressive, too. Good swing, balance, fastball up in the zone. His eyes right on the baseball. Nice approach. Montanez making a jumping leap before. I think he thought maybe he didn't have enough room here. Either way, I think that ball would have been real tough to catch. It was a scorcher off the bat.
Not a knock on Montanez, but if Adam Jones was in the game and he was in the original lineup, I think he catches Teixeira's double. That drives in 2 runs in the 4th, and he probably catches that as well because Adam Jones won the Gold Glove last year. Teixeira rips one to center field. Montanez is right there, and that will do it. So no harm, no foul with the double. No runs to hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We've played 6 here at the stadium, and the Yankees lead the Orioles 6-1. Brought to you by Fios TV, Internet, and Phone. This is Beyond Cable. This is Fios. Nice matchup. Phil Hughes, 3-0, 1.44. Josh Beckett, 1-0, 6.31. Our coverage will begin at 6 on Yes. And Al, I turn to you because I know you know Beckett. What's wrong with him?
Well,
6.31?
He finally had a good start against the Orioles. He ended up getting a no decision out of it. He feels fine. I mean, stuff-wise, I've been watching some of the highlights on his games. He's just missing location-wise. And like any player, pitcher, hitter, you start struggling, gets in your coconut, you start thinking too much.
Matt Wieters swings at the first pitch and lofts it to center. Gardner was shading his eyes, and then Wynn makes the play.
Wow.
Gardner had no idea where that ball was. He was calling for it, shading his eyes, and the ball lands in the glove of Wynn.
Oof.
And Gardner is a center fielder that takes everything that he could get. Watch him. And the ball's about 4 feet away from him.
He didn't see it. All along, I'm thinking he's got the ball.
Pitch outside to Nolan Reimold. Verizon Wireless scoreboard 6-1 Yanks.
Also, too, straight away is usually off center. To be able to see the ball off the bat, so important, especially in a sky like today, where you don't want to wait for the ball to pop up through the shirts in the stadium until it gets to the blue sky. But this is considered straight up, even though straight up you would think is right over that bag. You want to be able to see past the pitcher's shoulder so you can see it off the bat.
Grabbed there by Jeter. Does the 360. Fires not in time. And it goes past the sheriff, but backing up nicely, Cervelli. That'll be a base hit for Reimold.
Well, Cervelli doing his job. Derek Jeter, this is right up the middle. Derek, that pirouette, just making an emergency throw, a quick throw. Tough play. Good also, too, with instead of that ball going into the camera well here, you got a backup. You got the catcher backing up, the errant throw, kicking off that little low fence where the camera well is.
Grounded softly to Jeter. Let's see if they can turn two. There's one, and there's two. A 6-4-3 double play to get Mitre out of the inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base at the end of 6.5. It's time for the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium, but before we go, let's honor America here in the Bronx.
As we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now please join the late, great Kate Smith, her rendition of God Bless America.
I look forward to that. We always do as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. here at the stadium. The Yankees are leading 6-1. They're looking for a sweep. A new Oriole pitcher is Will Omen. Can't do much better than that. 0 ERA in 13 games. 6 hits in 8 in the third innings. I guess the only thing you could pick on, the 5 walks, but he certainly walked out of it, or worked out of it. That right there is a good omen. Pitch inside to Alex Rodriguez on the Verizon Wireless scoreboard, 6-8-0, leading 1-7-0. Foul behind the plate. Count 2-1.
Michael, Will Omen's been around for a while, 32 years old, had a little time with the Chicago Cubs and the Atlanta Braves. Last year with the Dodgers. Lefty specialist, mostly comes in and get left-handers.
Grounded to third. And Alex Rodriguez is now 1 for 3.
Just swinging at pitches just enough off the plate, doing pitchers favors anytime a hitter swings at the ball that's a few inches off. That's the difference between a locked-in player or not. You watch the streaks, good and bad for hitters. Are they swinging at balls? Do they get in good pitchers counts or hitters counts? And then when they do, are they hitting it hard? Are they squaring up? How's the balance? Talk about Nick Swisher feeling comfortable, not a whole lot of movement.
Robinson Cano grounds to Wigginton. Well, today and throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we are allowing you to vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. You can text your vote to 58772 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are Derek Jeter, Nick Johnson, Nick Swisher, and Mark Teixeira. Vote now. Make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Nick Swisher takes a pitch low. Count 2-0. Swisher, home run in the second. Fly ball to center, and then a ground ball to short.
That's such a balance. Look at just how comfortable Swisher is right now, seeing 3 pitches. See where this pitch is down the middle to be able to track the ball. Comfortable, bat on his shoulder.
And Swisher walks against Omen.
Well, you get 2 quick outs as a pitcher, and then you walk the next batter on 4 pitches. Just a big no-no. Certainly Omen not trying to do that, but it's frustrating for himself and pitching coach, manager alike.
Gardner today is 1 for 2. Stolen base, a walk, a run scored. There's a strike. Foul back. Still no word on Andy Pettitte, why the Yankees took him out after 5 innings and 77 pitches. When we hear something, we will get it to you if we don't hear anything during the game portion. Obviously, Kimberly is going to hear stuff in the clubhouse, and you'll hear it on the WB Mason postgame show.
Well, he's going to get the extra day, Michael, with Javier Vasquez scheduled to pitch on Monday. That would have been Andy's 5th day.
Yep.
So he's got the extended day on that. Yeah, I'm sure we'll find out. It just seems with the 77 pitches, 5 innings, 6-1, not insurmountable lead, but comfortable.
And Gardner grounds into the force, and that's going to do it here in the 7th. Yankees strand 1. We go to the 8th. 6-1 Bombers. Lawrence and Kimberly Jones for the WB Mason postgame. You'll get all the highlights and analysis of this final game against the Orioles, plus the team's reaction from the clubhouse. It's all coming up later on the WB Mason postgame. That's only on Yes. Well, we go to the 8th inning on a gorgeous Wednesday afternoon in New York City. Yankees are leading 6-1, looking for the sweep against the Orioles. Now, Lou Montanez is at the plate. Now, remember the very flamboyant first baseman for the Phillies in the 70s?
Willie
Montanez.
Willie Montanez, yeah. I keep saying Montanez.
Well, I mean, a lot of people might say, well, why is he saying Montanez? Well, Lou does not have a tilde over the end.
It's a tilde.
I believe it's a tilde. There's a fly ball. That's an out.
Tilde.
Tilde. Wait, does he have a tilde?
Yes, he does.
Well, then it's Montanez. Somebody had told me it was Montanez, so it's a tilde, and it's Montanez.
Okay, so I was right.
You have been right, and I've been wrong, so I apologize.
You don't have to apologize. Montanez.
Here's Julio Lugo. Lugo 2 for 3. Julio might be the highest paid utility person in baseball. Think about that. You make $9 million a year. He's not even a starting shortstop on a team that's 7-20.
What's Mike Lowe playing? Oh, he's starting now. He was utility for a while, right? He was about 11.
Yeah, he would be more. But he's playing now. Not every
Gary
day.
Matthews. He's a 4th outfielder.
Good point. That's $11 million.
Yeah, I'm thinking of guys that have been paid as starters and now obviously aren't starting.
There's the Oriole closer, Alfredo Simon. Mitre is working on his 4th straight scoreless inning for the Yanks.
See how this plays out, but Mitre's this could be an outing for him to just finish. Two pitchers certainly can go 4 innings.
And then you stretch him out in case you have to use him in the starting rotation. Because if you use him 3 innings, it doesn't make sense because you're not going to use him the next 3 days anyway. Might as well go to 4.
Well, that's the role of a long reliever. You find a spot. Usually you'll have unfortunately, some starters that don't go deep enough into the game, and they'll be able to go 4+, 3-4 innings. Looks like Marte's getting ready.
Grounder up the middle. Jeter grabs, does the 360, but not in time. Hey, come out to Yankee Stadium to see the 27-time world champion New York Yankees in action. Bring your clients, employees, or business associates out to the stadium for a corporate outing and enjoy Yankees baseball in a private game day suite or one of the great group locations. For more information, visit Yankees.com. You can call 646-977-8900 or email suites@Yankees.com. Here's Ty Wigginton.
Wigginton, right? Not Wigington.
Very highly, widely mispronounced name.
He was a teammate. I think I mispronounced it.
But you would call him Wiggy.
Wiggy, yeah. I'm used to calling him Wiggy, but I don't know if that sounds appropriate up here. Ty would be easy. Good guy, good player. 10 years in the big leagues, 5 different teams, gamer. So he idolized Pete Rose and Don Mattingly. Tough kid.
Why do players always call themselves nicknames? Why wouldn't you ever call him Ty? You call them Wiggy all the time, right?
Yeah, he was Wiggy.
Like Derek Jeter's Jeets. Mark Teixeira's Tex. That's driven deep to left field. You pronounce that one, home run. 2-run shot for Ty Wigginton. And the Yankees now lead 6-3. 9th home run of the year for Wigginton.
They talk a gamer up there in the second deck, and Paul Konerko had done it earlier in this homestand. There's only been a handful up there in the New Yankee Stadium. It's like a sinker that just didn't sink up in the zone. Hit it that well, strike it as that far. He knew it off the bat. Up there past the Modell sign.
Really crushed that.
Pat.
Wigginton now amongst the home run leaders in the American League. Paul Konerko of the White Sox with 12, then Cano and Wigginton, 2 second basemen with 9. Well, that's going to be the last pitch that Mitre throws. It's the first run that Mitre has allowed since April 9th, 4 appearances ago. So Mitre's day is done. All of that and yes, Mo, and it adds up to Yankees 6 and the Orioles 3 here in the top of the 8th inning at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Sergio Mitre just served up a 2-run home run to tie Wigginton. And now they bring in Damaso Marte to try to get the lefty swinging Nick Markakis. Pitch outside. Now, they say they're trying to stay away from Mariano Rivera today. This is, at this point, a save situation if you come in the 9th inning. Now, I talked to Mariano today before the game. He said he could pitch today. And then he was told that Joe Girardi had said he'd like to give him one more day. And then Mariano said to the person who asked him, who said that? And he was told the manager. He goes, well, there you have it. The manager usually gets his way. Now, I also asked Jabba Chamberlain, could he pitch? He said, yes, I definitely could. But in Joe's press conference, Joe said he wasn't going to use Jabba today. That they would try to mix and match if they had to close the game. And the home run by Wigginton now makes it that sort of game. David Robertson, who has struggled, is up for the Yankees. Swing and a miss. Markakis down on strike, so Marte gets the strikeout on the lefty batter.
Tough sidearm, nasty slider running away from Markakis. Good location, great break to that slider. See the finger, low 3/4, just gets enough spin on it. Just keeps cutting away from Markakis.
Well, Joe doing some mixing and matching, so he has the lefty come on to get the lefty. And now he's going to bring in Robertson to try to get Tejada. Again, he's 2 men short out in the bullpen without Jabba and without Mo. We'll see how he works this final inning and a third. Own a Land Rover.
Well, that Land Rover drive of the game, Nick Johnson, his first at bat off a fastball down in the zone, deposit up there to second deck. Land Rover drive of the game, Nick Johnson, maybe that turning around, 2 for 2 with 2 walks.
Nick Johnson has to feel better about things with the 2 home runs, or the 2 hits, a double and a home run, and the 2 walks. There's David Robertson. Yankees need to straighten him out. 5 2/3. He still has the 8 strikeouts, so more than a strikeout per inning, which is his thing. His thing is not 11 hits in 5 2/3, almost 2 hits an inning. He has not been right so far this year with his location.
Well, you said it, Michael, and that's what it is. His stuff, I talked to him, he feels fine, but it is a matter of locating his fastball better and getting him better counts.
Over his last 2 appearances, Robertson has allowed 4 runs in 1 inning. First base up. Gary Darling said he did not go.
Where's the pitch? Right down the middle, knee high. What's this pitch here? Well, he's calling it down. Clearly over the plate.
Driven out to right field deep. Swisher will make the play. And that'll do it in the 8th inning for the Orioles. They scored 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors. Nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees 6-3 over the O's. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Well, it's now 6-3. Yankees over the O's. And Francisco Cervelli will lead it off, then Randy Wynn and Derek Jeter. So Derek Jeter is ready. And the Orioles bring in their closer, Alfredo Simon. Not a closing situation, but they want to hold it here at 6-3.
Well, he's got a closer arm, 95, 96 plus velocity-wise. Talk about quick recuperation. This guy had Tommy John surgery last year. It's a remarkable recovery. Dominant closer stuff. Just a matter of him getting consistent, those 4 walks.
Very, very detailed notes. Where was he rated?
Oh, he's adding the name. Yeah, Simone wasn't in there. Boy, that looks way better than mine. It's neat.
Legible. All the things it's supposed to be. High fly ball, right field off the bat of Cervelli. Markakis will make the play on the lip of the track for the first out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Here's Randy Wynn. Simone got the Orioles' only win against the Yankees, or he saved it, allowing 2 runs on 2 hits and a walk on April 27th to nail down a game that the Yankees almost pulled out in the 9th inning. Orioles had signed Mike Gonzalez to a free agent contract to be their closer, and blew a couple of games, and his shoulder got stiff, and he's on the DL, and now it's kind of a closer by committee, but the first one that enters the mind of Dave Tremblay is Alfredo Simon.
Yeah, so far that's been a big disappointment for the Orioles, trying to solidify the back end of their bullpen. Mike Gonzalez coming in as their closer. And I love Simon's arm. If this guy is able to keep it up and work with that fastball slider combination, he's going to be tough on the American League hitters.
So you have the Gonzalez injury, Koji Uehara, who's supposed to be their setup guy. He is also hurt, and Felix P.A., an outfielder, and we told you about Brian Roberts earlier. So a brutal schedule early where they played 16 straight days against good teams most of the time, and then injuries to significant people. Their closer, their second baseman, a valuable outfielder, their setup guy, and the Orioles have not been able to survive it. And that's why they're 7-20 coming to this game. Randy Wynn picks up a base hit. He's 1 for 4. Not 1 for 3. Also has a sac bunt. There's the list. Uehara, left hamstring pull. Gonzalez, left shoulder strain. Brian Roberts, they're saying strained abdominal. He also has a herniated disc in his back. And Felix P.A., an upper back strain, and he's kind of torn the muscle in his back. He might be out a very long time.
And then to combine that with the struggles of Luke Scott. Garrett Atkins, until this series, has not been hitting well. And to be in the toughest division in baseball.
But this was the year the Orioles were supposed to take that next step, maybe move ahead of the Blue Jays, finish 4th. Now it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Dave Tremblay was very philosophical when I asked him about possibly losing his job. He said, I got to do the best I can. He said, I have to realize how blessed I am. I have one of 30 jobs that so many people in this world want. There are just 30 jobs. He said, most of us get hired to be fired. I know those are all cliches, he said, but I can't sit and worry about it. I'm just lucky that I have the job, and I'll try to do the best I can. I really don't give it much thought, losing the job. Pitch outside to Jeter.
You know, and I know we say it often, but he really is a great baseball man. The guy's been around the game for a long time, managed in the minor leagues and coached at all different levels.
See the Orioles 12.5 out. He's also, I know this sounds so trite, he's such a good guy. And he's waited such a long time for this opportunity. He's never really had a great team or even a real good team. This is probably the best team that he's come into a season with, and they've staggered out of the gate, and those injuries haven't helped.
Well, and he finally got his opportunity, as you say, Mike. He worked 22 years in professional baseball, 20 of them as a minor league manager when he became the manager of this club.
And the only active manager in the majors to have never played professional baseball. Forget about the minors. Never played professional baseball. Never earned a paycheck playing baseball. There are a few of those throughout the history of the game, guys like Connie Mack, but
John Bowles.
That's right.
With the Marlins.
Runner goes. And a stolen base for Wynn. Wynn pushed Wigginton out of the way. Wanted to think about going to third, but Wigginton was blocking his way. Good throw, they get him. And then says sorry. Yankees wouldn't mind plating that run, give them a 4-run lead. They're up 6-3. Count 2-2.
Bottom dropped out of that pitch after 95s, 96. Like a split finger. Ball just tumbled straight down. Yeah, that's a splitter. Tough to lay off.
And it swings and misses at that pitch again. So Jeter down on strikes. Derek is 1 for 5 today with 2 runs scored.
Well, there's the split finger. Tough pitch. Bruce Sutter made it a very effective pitch in the 70s, 80s. Ball just looks like a fastball, more of a two-seamer, and then just the bottom drops out.
Strike to Nick Johnson. Nick, so far today, a perfect day. 2 for 2 with 2 walks. A home run, a double, 2 runs scored.
Maybe this would be the start of a nice little turnaround for Nick Johnson. Certainly what Nick Swisher was able to do this homestand.
They added the mustache on the scoreboard.
Happy Le Pew.
Count 2-1. Jorge Posada sitting out another game as he tries to get his calf back in working order. He's going to try it out on Friday. They don't know if they're going to play him on Friday yet, but he'll try to do some baseball activities. Ground ball up the middle and kicked by Wigginton. That's going to allow Randy Wynn to score. So it's a base hit for Johnson, and the Yankees now lead 7-3. We'll see how they scored it. They give him an RBI or an E4 on the kick.
Well, Wigginton not that much range, but he got to the baseball and literally kicked the ball. He was able to get to it. Watch here, his glove backhand just off a little snow cone, and then he'll end up kicking the baseball. Played some third base. Now obviously filling in for Brian Roberts. It's a single with an RBI.
Knocked down there by Atkins. And Teixeira's going to get himself a hit.
Well, that's a hot smash right here. Atkins just barely off the bag. Normally you see a first baseman go further than that. Well, if he's seeing the ball, that looked like a ball that he could handle. Ended up again hitting him on the heel of the glove. Maybe in this daytime here with the little bit of glare off of the seats behind the hitters. Hit hard, but I think he may have had that one.
So Dunn comes out to talk with Simone. That's Alan Dunn taking over for Rick Kranitz, who was thrown out. The pitching coach thrown out earlier in the game by the home plate ump.
This Friday, she's a rapper, an actress, a producer, and a businesswoman. Now, Queen Latifah sits down for a new GMC Presents Center Stage with Michael Kay. From rags to riches and albums to Oscar nominations, the Queen covers it all in an all-new Center Stage, Friday night at 11, only on Yes.
You're going to tape that, right, Al?
You told me I got to tape it.
Yep.
Although my DVR is broken right now.
Why don't you hook up the old VCR that you have in the attic?
We don't have that.
Oh. I'll get you a copy. Alberto Castillo warming. Here's Alex Rodriguez. And a ground ball is short. They go the short way to get the final out on the force. Yankees 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Yankees try to close it out in the 9th. They lead 7-3. This Sunday, get the weekly wrap-up straight from the skipper on an all-new WB Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show. Joe breaks down this homestand and the big upcoming series in Boston, plus a look ahead to the showdown in Motown against the Tigers. It's an all-new Sunday WB Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show. It's at 7:30, only on Yes. There's the star of that show, and the manager of the Yankees, Joe Girardi. His team leads 7-3, 3 outs away from a 3-game sweep. And the pitch is a strike to Garrett Atkins. Count 1-1. Boone Logan ready in the Yankee pen. David Robertson looking to pick up his second big league save. That one is driven into right center field. On the run, Gardner. He makes the play easily for the first out.
Well, Robertson struggling early part of this year with the high ERA. That was a chance of getting a save here with it having been when he got in the game with 3 runs, now with the 4-run lead. See how this plays out, but it's a good opportunity for Joe Girardi to give Robertson a little boost of confidence here.
Deals to Wieters outside.
Let him get some work and some pitches in. Feel comfortable about his approach.
Strike. Robertson had some nice moments in the postseason last year. You would think his confidence would be fine, but it's a very fragile thing. Had a rough couple of outings, and then that could snowball. The Yankees are trying to stop it before the snowball gets too big. Fouled away.
Yeah, I don't think his confidence is bad, but anytime you start out a new year, you want good numbers, and when you give up a few runs and your ERA is reflective or isn't reflective of your ability with an ERA of 12, plus 12 coming into today, you just start searching, start thinking about things in which what are you doing that you could do better, and stuff-wise, he's every bit as good as he was last year.
And the count 3-2. Driven deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. Solo home run for Matt Wieters. And the Yankee lead is now 7-4. Well, the ball's flying out of the ballpark today.
Well, that ball was well struck. The 3-2 count. Wants it on the outside part of the plate, middle of the plate. Matt Wieters, that ball was hit hard. Good looking young ball player. Got a fastball, middle of the plate, was able to elevate.
Two home runs from the O's and 2 home runs for the Yanks. There have been 3 games already this year without a home run here at Yankee Stadium. Last year, there was 1 the entire season. So the ball not jumping out of here as it had been at the beginning of last season, kind of a calm down toward the end. But today, 4 home runs. So Dave Island goes out and talks with David Robertson. Andy Pettitte started. He threw 5 innings. He's eligible to get the win. Threw 77 pitches, then inexplicably was taken out before the start of the 6th inning when they brought in Sergio Mitre. You would assume that something is up. We have not yet heard word of why they took Andy out, but we will wait and hear on the WB Mason postgame after Kim works the clubhouse. Strike. count 2-1. Did he go? Yes, he did, said Gary Darling.
Robertson just getting underneath these fastballs here. You see the check swing that Reimold couldn't hold up. Just the ever so slight for Robertson or any pitcher to just be more precise with the ability to hit your spots. So those are just overthrown fastballs, getting underneath and pushing it. And it usually is the case, you know, you're struggling, or at least the numbers reflect that you're struggling, and you try harder, and when you try harder, it gets worse. Something to be said about just backing off a little.
High fly ball, deep to left. And the corner is Wynn. And it's off the foul pole. Back-to-back home runs by the Orioles. High off the foul pole for Nolan Reimold. And now the Yankees lead is 7-5. And Joe Girardi's going to take out David Robertson. He was going up the steps and then stopped. And he was waiting for the announcement of Ryan Hughes, the lefty batter, so now he's going to bring in Boone Logan. That's all he was waiting for. So Reimold with his second home run, and now it's 7-5. You can see it hits high off the pole. Bang. 7-5. We'll be back with Logan against Hughes. Runs already this year. He gave up 4 all of last year. Let's watch the last home run.
Well, not only missing location there, he wanted the ball away, ends up being on the inside part of the plate. Reimold doing a nice piece of hitting, pulling his hands in, but it becomes very predictable. He threw one curveball in that appearance there. Wasn't even close. His fastball was being sprayed, so as a hitter should do, look for the fastball. He got one on the inside part of the plate that Reimold liked. Hit that ball a long way.
Well, the Yankees still have to get 2 more outs. Now Boone Logan against Ryan Hughes. And Logan deals outside 1-0. Logan pitched against his former team, the White Sox, and made everybody's eyes on the Yankees open up wide. He threw 97 miles an hour on one fastball. Now the count 2-0. It's a different feel with the game. Not so much slipping to get away, but certainly getting a little sticky. You don't have Mariano out there, and you don't even have Jabba. There's a strike. Alfredo Aceves getting ready if need be. 2-1. 2-2. Boy, Logan's really throwing hard. That was 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's always had that good fastball. It's just a matter, again, to be a broken record, but having better command, and also, too, a secondary pitch to be better, put-away pitch. Never denied or disputed Boone Logan's ability to throw a ball hard.
So he's gone up from 92 to 93 to 95. That was 96 on our gun. Three-two, and he walked him. Logan saying, where was that? Kind of looked in toward Paul Emmel. So the Orioles now have gotten what they wanted. They have an opportunity to tie the game.
Yeah, well, you see that ball is off the plate. Cervelli wanted it, framed it, but clearly 5, 6, 7 inches off. You mentioned about the field being different without Mariano. Even they went down to the White House, and President Obama expressed the same sentiment.
There's Lou Montañez. Lofted into shallow center. Gardner comes on to make the play. He was playing very deep to guard against the extra base hit. Came a long way and took away a single.
Brett makes it look easy. He's playing pretty far back. It looks like almost no doubles depth, and that comes a long way. Just has that kind of quickness to make it an easy play. Tracking it. Eye on the baseball, into the glove.
And that'll leave it to Julio Lugo with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. 3 for 4 for Lugo. 3 singles. Hughes goes, and he will take second on defensive indifference. A strike to Lugo. Yankees looking for the sweep, and that makes the off day tomorrow seem even better. Still have to get this final out, though. Good fastball, 0-2. Crowd of 43,425 here at the stadium. Looking for strike 3, looking for out 3, looking for 3 in a row against the O's. Just off the end of the bat to stay alive. Stadium board had that at 97 miles an hour.
Throw it again. There's a little hockey goal, a little slap there by Lugo.
The 0-2 outside. (7-5). Yankees up. Runner at second, 2 outs, top of the 9th inning. 2 runs already in for the Orioles. The victory would go to Andy Pettitte. He'd be 4-0. The save, there wouldn't be a save. You know what? There would be, because a tying run would be on deck, so Logan would get the save. He's still a strike away from that save. Jabba Chamberlain has saved the last 2 games without the availability of Mariano. And Logan trying to nail this one down.
Well, this may be his last batter. If he walks him, Savas being ready for Wigginton. This will be his first save since 2006 with the White Sox.
The 2-2. And the count is 3-2. Lugo is the tying run. The Orioles battling down to the final out here in the 9th. And they are still battling as Lugo works a walk. And Joe Girardi is going to take the ball from Boone Logan. And he's going to ask Alfredo Aceves to get out Ty Wigginton to end the game. So we're going to step aside as Aceves jogs in. Aceves against Wigginton. Wigginton with the game on the line. Stay where you are. Save us. And they need an out right here to close it out. 2-0. This will be his 9th game. 3.38 ERA. Yankees are short pitchers. Right now, what do they have out there? They've used Mitre, Marte, Robertson, Logan, and now Aceves. And Jabba and Mort Mariano are not available.
This is it.
There's a strike. Aceves had 1 save last year, his only career save. Wigginton with a 2-run home run in the 8th inning. Lugo has good speed at first, something down the line or in the gaps. And you got yourself a tie game. Yankee outfielders are playing very deep. That's their no double defense. The 0-1. And Alex Rodriguez playing deep at third and fairly close to the line.
There's a no double defense is covering the wall.
Anything over their head, I believe, would be a home run. That's the way they're positioned right now. 1-1. 1-2. Hughes at second. Lugo is at first. 2 men out. 1-2 count on Wigginton. Aceves deals. Outside, 2-2. Making it sweaty for the Yankees. At one time, this was a 6-1 game. And 7-3 entering this inning. The 2-2. High fly ball, right field. This should do it. Swisher is there. And the Yankees win 7-5. Aceves picks up his second career save. Joe Girardi breathes a sigh of relief. And in the ninth inning, the Orioles score 2 runs on 2 home runs, and they leave 2. And the Yankees are now 10-2 at home this season. Another home run for Nick Swisher. Nick Johnson had a home run, 3 hits and 2 walks, so a good day for him. And by the way, the base hit that we gave to Sheriff in the 8th inning that's been taken away, it's now being called an E3. Hey, stick around for the postgame show to find out who today's Chevy player of the game is. Could be Nick Johnson. Nick Johnson has certainly struggled coming into this game, and maybe this was the game that breaks him out of it. You never know. Nick Swisher also had another home run as his hot hitting here in the Bronx continues. So the Yankees win this one 7-5. They sweep the Orioles. They go 5-1 on this homestand, and tomorrow's a day off before they begin a 7-game road trip with 3 in Boston and 4 in Detroit. So all things good in the world of the Yankees as they are 19-8. And one of the reasons they won today, Nick Johnson, is with our very own Kimberly Jones. Kim?
That's right, Michael. 3 hits today. The home run in the first. How sweet did that look heading to the second deck?
Oh, it was nice. Been struggling at the plate, and to square a ball up and have it pretty good at bat. It's nice, and just got to keep it going.
On base every time. We saw the double, the single late. Especially with the home run and double, it looked like you made a conscious effort to swing early. Did you?
I don't know. Just trying to get a good pitch to hit and not miss it. And got a couple good ones out over the middle.
Do you ever go to the plate, though, and say, doggone it, I'm going to swing for the first pitch this time instead of waiting these guys out?
Sometimes. I'm pretty passive at the plate, and sometimes I think too much. And last 3 or 4 days, I've had a clear mind and putting some good swings on the ball. 3
hits today. Could it break you out of a little slump that you were in?
We'll see. Got to keep working.
I want to ask you about the scoreboard. I don't know if you looked at it, but the scoreboard guys gave you a little stash on your headshot on the scoreboard. Did you notice?
No, I didn't. But, I like to have fun with my hair, so it's whatever.
And you like to have fun with your entrance music. It's been big news. Everyone asked me about it. Miley Cyrus, Party in the USA. Do you take any heat from it, from your teammates about it?
Here and there. It's for my daughter, so she really enjoys the song. So she comes to a lot of games, so something to make her smile.
Everyone loves that song. Nick, thank you.
No problem.
Michael, back to you.
Thank you, Kimberly, and thank you, Nick. So Nick Johnson picks up 3 hits. Now, the RBI they gave him in the 8th inning has been taken away. So he lost an RBI as he was talking to Kim, but that's the official scoring decision. I hope he doesn't blame Kim about it. Coming up, more awards and then the WB Mason postgame. Yankees win this 1-7-5.